Well, I can say firsthand, being your mate, I know it taught you empathy for
Mm,
sure. Because a lot of people don't know this, but when I went through the car accident, one of the nights I was in hospital, you stayed for about 6 hours. You stayed from I
yeah.
think it was 5 p.m. or maybe even longer than 6 hours to about midnight, and we just sat there and we just talked for hours, and that really helped me out because I was so scared. I didn't know what was going on, and the loneliness was just like taking over me. And to
Mm.
have that night where you just sat down and just talked me through the whole thing, it really helped out. Do you think that that was the reason for it?
Probably, I know definitely God has a plan, and I was actually talking with Dad a couple of years ago when we were in Thailand together, um, and it wasn't just in relation to like the previous surgeries, but it was even because of like my back
Mm,
situation. And I asked him, and I was like, Dad, why do you reckon God's allowed me to go through this, and obviously all the past medical history? And he was like, Son, look, I don't know why he's put you through this, but I do know that he said, what I do know is that you need to ask him to help you so that you can help others.
mm,
And that's kind of stuck with me, that God's put me through this, gotten me through so that I can help others who have gone through similar situations. I mean, and classic example, like your that night in the hospital came, what, 6 years after high school for me.
yeah.
And so I was able to use that 6 years later down the track to help you. I didn't know how much of a help it was. All I remember is I brought you McDonald's, I think it was, that night for dinner.
And
But
you brought some, I think it was like donuts, and I couldn't eat them.
yeah,
So
yeah,
you
you
ate them
couldn't eat
all,
the donut.
obviously.
I did. That was
Yeah.
very nice, actually. They were good. But yeah, it was just yeah. I think the biggest thing that I think the biggest reason is that God has brought me through so that I can be a help to others, and without even knowing it. And just be that blessing. And yeah, you're right. It has helped me be able to relate to others that do have injuries and are going through similar things.
I think the surprising thing about going through as much as you have is if someone didn't know your history, they wouldn't know that you went through all that.
Mm.
Because, mate, you look like the most normal bloke there is. You don't look like you've been through 8+ surgeries. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you look fairly straightforward. I mean, you play cricket, you play,
yeah,
God's given you that ability just to still play sport and live a
mm.
fairly normal life, which is
Yeah.
awesome.